Section 1. Hey guys, tonight we slip into the creaky sandals of a man who wakes just before dawn in the old city of Istanbul, back when it was Constantinople's shinier Ottoman cousin, and back when the most dangerous thing in the empire might have been a cup of coffee and a whisper. The lamps are still low, casting amber halos across cobbled alleys. Somewhere behind you, a donkey sighs, possibly judging your life choices. You duck under a hanging laundry line and follow the wafting scent of roasted beans. The air is a little smoky, a little spiced, and almost certainly carries someone's secrets. You're headed toward one of the first coffee houses to open its doors this morning, a place with no sign, no menu, and no shortage of opinions. Tonight, you'll sip, sit, and eavesdrop through a society that thought talking too much over a warm drink might topple thrones. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Let me know where you're listening from and what time it is where you are. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. You duck into the coffee house just as a man with a mustache so elaborate it probably has its own title unbolts the wooden shutters. The air is thicker in here. Burnt sugar, cardamom, stale jokes, and wood smoke all swirling together like the ghosts of last night's arguments. This is no modern cafe, no Wi-Fi, no baristas named Trent, just low benches, wall rugs faded into quiet dignity, and small brass cups lined in porcelain. In the center, a brazier glows red, warming the room and the pot that rests atop it. A sezvev, its long handle sticking out like a pointing finger toward your early morning fate. You take a seat near the wall, under a hand-painted tile that might depict a floral motif, or maybe a very elegant cabbage. Hard to say. The cushion sighs under your weight, as if exhausted already by your presence. Someone nearby clears their throat with the gravity of a man preparing to recite epic poetry, then merely mutters something about shoe prices. The proprietor, a gentleman with eyebrows like twin storm clouds, nods to you and begins his ancient ritual. He grinds roasted beans into a powder so fine it clings to his fingers. He adds it to water already heated in the pot, then swirls it, lets it foam, pulls it off the flame just before it boils over, then does it again. And again. Ottoman coffee is not brewed. It's summoned. As the first cup is set before you, it is unclear whether you are meant to drink it or simply regard it with reverence. You take a sip. It is thick, bitter, and somehow wiser than you. The grounds settle slowly to the bottom, like tiny philosophers laying down after a long night. All around, the coffeehouse begins to fill. Old men with toothpicks, younger men pretending to be old, scholars with ink-stained sleeves, and tradesmen with the paint still under their fingernails. They nod to each other with the solemnity of men entering battle, except the battle is mostly verbal and very slow. Historians still argue whether the first coffee houses in the Ottoman Empire were meant as places of recreation or revolution. What's clear is that they were never just about coffee. They were about gathering, about sharing ideas, grievances, poetry, and at least 3 versions of the same neighborhood scandal. And while you're only a visitor, even you can feel the buzz, not just of caffeine, but of potential. Because in a world where most work was exhausting, repetitive, and required silence, the act of sitting down and chatting over a cup was its own quiet rebellion. A boy in the corner tries to balance 4 cups on a tray the size of a handkerchief. He nearly spills one into a man's lap, but the man doesn't flinch, just holds up a finger mid-sentence and finishes his opinion on the latest tax rate for figs. The conversations around you range from weather to war to whether a particular fishmonger's mustache is real. A man with ink-stained fingers recites a line from Rumi and then ruins it by insisting the meaning changes if you read it upside down. Another man plays with prayer beads while nodding slowly, either in agreement or in gentle sleep. In this soft pre-dawn hour, as the call to prayer hovers just over the horizon, the coffee house is the beating heart of the neighborhood, steady, rhythmic, and full of contradictory thoughts trying to live together under one roof. But you don't speak. Not yet. You sip, you listen, you settle into the warmth of the bench and the buzz of a place where chatter is currency and silence is either wisdom or sleep. Awaiting continue.